So welcome to a learning journey where truly 100% of our teachers and academic leaders, that being Mrs. Summis, myself, Dr. Soderman, and Ms. Carter, are truly committed to applying innovative research in educational neuroscience and psychology to enhance learning for every single student. That's our goal. Brain-based practices encompass every aspect of the ideal and dream educational journey to maximize each child's potential. Right? So every aspect of this school is based on brain research, and we're very proud of that. All the way from the learning environment that you are now sitting in. This isn't a cafeteria, this is a village, because of what the learner needs, according to brain research. All the way from planning instruction, details to promote mastery of skills and concepts, student engagement in higher order thinking and creative problem solving. Research is used to incorporate the arts, Skyping experience, expert guests, our off-campus field trips, and the use of technology in this school. All of these things are very, very important to maximize each child's learning potential. So they're all thought out with the strongest foundation of what neuroscientists are telling us we need to do. We are a multiple intelligence school. We are a school that's based on a cognitive theory, right? All that said and done, what does that mean for your child? Because that's why you're here. It means whether he or she is at the beginning of this learning journey in the preschool or kindergarten, or whether they are experiencing subject rotation now in Dream Middle School, they are getting an education that is based on scientific research on how the brain learns. For example, Ideal and Dream teachers design lessons with the understanding of multiple intelligence and the understanding of knowing the importance of engaging the emotional brain with the prefrontal cortex, the reasoning brain. It means your son or daughter will have teachers at every grade level with expertise in knowing how the mind learns and how to help every student meet their potential. In summary, it truly means your child's going to become more confident, more independent, self-aware, prepared, and a mindful learner, not just for this year, not for next year, but for life. And that's the goal. All right? Now, how do we do this? There are programs in our school or actual practices in our school culture that make this come to life. Right? Take a look. We want to light up the whole brain. It's very important that we are teaching for understanding, not to a test. To do this, we're using Dr. Gardner's theory, of course, but we've also gained a greater understanding in how a child learns. We know the beginning part of the lesson is the most powerful. We know the ending is the most powerful. We know that an attention span's about 20 minutes, and you've got to have interactive engagement with the student and movements to keep them engaged so that it's relevant. We know a lot about how their brain works. Next. We are not teaching to a test. We are teaching for problem solving. We are teaching for them to go out there to their high school, to their university, and to their profession so that they are prepared to work with others, validate their thoughts, create a product, think out of the box, and be innovative. Yes, they may get that A if they have that potential. Every school can offer that. But the A is not the goal. We are after true understanding. Project-based learning is one of the ways to get true understanding. Working in collaborations, working with an open-ended question, hands-on, working with the opportunity to have to speak to others to validate your thoughts. This is a very strong component at this school in all the classes, all the way from preschool through grade 8. Task analysis is another term you're going to hear in this culture. And that is the ability to take sequential steps to achieve a goal. That starts in preschool. It is very important that the learner knows that they can be a realistic optimist. They can reach their goals if they're willing to plan out, take step by step, and get to that goal. This you're going to see in middle school. You're going to see it on their desks in elementary. The goal is when they leave us, they don't need these cues. They know exactly how to break down material and achieve their goal. That will now go into their hippocampus, their memory, and it will become habit. And that is a skill they're going to need for life. The portfolio of the students' thoughts, their knowledge. The product is very important at this school, as it should be. Dr. Gardner says intelligence is the ability to solve a problem, not the IQ test, the ability to solve a problem, and the ability to create a product that's relevant to your culture. This is the product. How do we know understanding if we don't create a visible understanding? And that's what we call this. It is visible understanding. The product is very important because this learner, these learners, are going to have to go out into that world and they're going to have to validate their thoughts. They're going to have to come up with a way to represent their best. This has to start now. It's a habit. So the product at this school represents their best. You will see accurate feedback from the teachers, from their mentors. You will see reflections from the student in the product. You will see them actually tell you how they experienced this information during that learning segment. You will see reflections in their product, what they felt they did well, what they feel they need to work on. There's samples of product over on the counter. We are so proud of this. The great thing is when our students leave this school and go into high school and university, this is habit for them. They don't need someone to nag them to do their best or organize their thoughts. This is something they've learned to do naturally. This takes guidance, mentoring, time. We're not racing in third grade to do fourth grade work at Ideal, and nor will I ever. We are spending time on quality, so that the skills that they require to exceed and succeed out in that world, they've got mastered, all right? In middle school, they have 2 study halls a week where they work with their mentors or their teachers to get organized and also to improve areas of that learning journey. This is the base of the school, the emotional quotient and the IQ, the cognitive part. We know by truly talking to administration in the high schools, talking to Benjamin, talking to Oxbridge, talking to companies, Motley Fool, Yelp, Facebook, what is desired out there? And all very clear. It's not credentials in isolation anymore. Walking in an office or a school with the highest marks, it may, again, get you that open door, but it doesn't get you the job or the success that you want for your child. What gets them where they want to be is this balance. So we want to make sure that yes, they have a skill set that's solid, but also that they have the character and the personality and confidence that's going to allow them to show their skill set. So I think you've seen this symbol, but understanding the true meaning, next, is very important. They're going to go to a high school with a variety of people from different backgrounds, different belief systems, different levels of intelligence. They've got to work together with those people. And we make it very clear here, no one is gifted. Gifted is 130 an IQ test. It's a label that doesn't apply in this culture. In this culture, we believe what Dr. Gardner believes. You are strong at some things, you're weaker at others. When you work with a group of people, every goal can be attained. And I would rather have that perspective. If we did give an IQ test here, most of these children would test gifted. We prefer to say we are all ordinary. We have our strengths and our weaknesses. It is Daniela's responsibility to know what her strengths and weaknesses are before she goes to high school. It is her responsibility to know how to fill in those weaknesses, how to get the most from herself on her own. It is very important to realize that if you group yourself with people with different backgrounds, different philosophies, different cognitive levels, strengths and weaknesses, extraordinary things can happen. This just was taken last week. It's natural here, and it's one of the most impressive things when I take people on tours is that handshaking. And I find that so surprising because to me it's just so basic. There isn't a leader of the day in any of the rooms. This is natural. And my tours take 2 hours, not because of my talking, I swear, because everyone lines up to handshake and we won't stop it. We are trying to form a habit. We are trying to form a pattern of behavior that they're going to do like breathing. So this is very, very important. Not just the handshaking, the looking in the eye, knowing that other human being is valued. These children are amazing, and you may not realize it, but I hope you do. But when I give tours, you know, people go, especially in the middle school, and they've gone to other schools before ours, and they'll say, I've never seen this. And they think it's staged, you know, and they'll say, come back any day. It's not staged, it's expected and it's modeled, not for us, but for them, so that they can continue their journey knowing how to embrace other human beings and to reach their own personal potential. This you see all around. It isn't about Corey. Corey's just the face that we attach this belief system to. It's about living a life of being a realistic optimist. I don't want the learners here, and we're very clear, to walk around going, I'm going to be an astronaut, I'm going to be a basketball player. We want them to tell us, how do you think you're going to get there? What are the things you have to do to get there? And if you're 5'2" and you're saying you want to be a basketball player, we may actually help you look at the field that you could truly go into and still reach your passion of that sport. So I'm not about, and we are not about truly being optimists, we're about realism. We want them to understand the goals that you have to be broken down with hard work and resilience. And that, my friends, is a characteristic that's lacking. And that's called resilience. We don't want to make it so easy here. We want to make it very doable, but we need them to practice that perseverance, taking risks, failing, and then succeeding. So that cycle has to be allowed. The other thing that happens in this culture that we're trying to create to get successful dreamers and realistic optimists out in that real world is behavior patterns that are based above the line. Our students are very aware, starting in preschool, of how to act to get what they want, how to stay above the line. You can't just say, oh, be happy every day and play our music on Fabulous Friday. That may be what you see, but that isn't what's going on. What we're doing here is modeling for our students all the way through this journey that there are ways to achieve your goals. We are trying to live a life above the line where we can be accountable. We need our students to say, I didn't do my homework, I am sorry, and stop. Not, I didn't do my homework because you didn't post on Jupiter grades and my parents said that and they called you and so I didn't have to do it. That's below the line. That is not going to get the innovators we're after that's going to possibly get a cure for cancer and cerebral palsy. And you know that's truly the vision. We need the children in this school, and we model it and we practice it, to be responsible, accountable, reliable. So you have to set up a culture that allows the mistakes and allows you to now show them the new tool to use to be above the line. So at this school, the behavior and the discipline is not punitive. There are working lunches to help them meet deadlines. Adults take working lunches. We're showing them skills. They know consequences are the result of the choices they make. This is like a scaffold. This takes a commitment from the team, a commitment from the parents, but the end result is phenomenal. I get so many comments from administration in high schools. We know your students because they are accountable. They don't try to wiggle out of things. So this is a very important part of this school, and it's a part of that balance. There's no point having a straight A student if you don't have straight A character. This is also very, very important in this school. As much as the marks and as much as knowing knowledge, it is being mindful, and it isn't a buzzword. The volume and the stimuli in their world is a million times what we ever encountered. And yet we, and I'm not saying we because our school does do it, the community falls short in helping them deal with all this stimuli. And you have very stressed out youth and young adults. We must teach them, and we do teach them, how to be in the moment, how to turn down the stimuli so that they can find inner peace. And that's a skill. If we don't have the knowledge about the brain, you can't teach about the brain. Ideal and Dream students are very aware of how their brain works. You'll hear the terminology. My amygdala just took over. Mrs. Gerards, it's my favorite. I have to say, it's my favorite. My amygdala is mad at your amygdala, and I'm going upstairs till your prefrontal cortex shows up, or something like that. How awesome that that language exists. These students will go out into that mayhem, and it can be, but they know how to create their own utopia. They've been given skills. They know how to surround themselves with good people. They know how to be responsible, and they know how to get calm within the noise. Doesn't mean just ring the synergy bell, but we do. They know to step away when they feel the inner cues that they are getting limbic. They know not to judge someone next to them getting limbic, but rather to understand what truly is happening in that person's brain, and to know what to do to be safe for themselves and to still have a productive day. That is phenomenal. We just came back from a mindful summit in Washington, and truly what's happening here, they are just teaching companies now. So I am so proud of what's going on, and you've got to understand it. And I know you can't lean over the fence and your neighbors say, yeah, we're doing it too. This is cutting edge. But if I put a priority, this is the most important thing right now to teach our students. So we're trying to be mindful. We want this next generation to be able to focus and not judge. And the reason it's so important, you can't get creative in a busy brain. Creativity and innovation happens in the space. So if we don't allow for quiet space, and if they don't create it for themselves, we won't get innovative thinking. And we need innovative thinking. The end result of having a solid curriculum that is advanced, and please be very clear, it doesn't mean in second grade I'm doing third grade work. I am not. I am doing quality. They're already advanced in their social studies and science textbooks in elementary. They go up if their ITBS and their day-to-day performance supports it. All those things are being done. We are about quality. And with that, we are about creating a human being that's going to go out there and work in a collaborative group and validate ideas that are going to change the world. That's the end result. Daniela and Nancy happen to be our president and vice president, voted by their peers. And this, I just put up recent pictures. I didn't have to dig. This was from last week. And they just received an award for being two of the top representatives at the county science fair. More than that, look at them. I mean, they're right here. I mean, they're not perfect people, sorry, but you're not. And nor do I want perfect people. And if that truly is what you're after, again, wrong school. But great people that are so anxious to get out there and step out of their comfort zone and make a difference and meet new people that are different than them. We're very, very proud of all our students. At Science Fair, we actually had a judge contact us. Yes, about what they saw, but more importantly, how they were greeted when they went to each board. Our students shook hands. Our students looked them in the eye. Our students exchanged interests with another human being. So much so, a judge contacted us. That's what we're after. Be the purple cow. Be extraordinary. This is, again, why it's so important. This is what the world wants. We talk to companies, we talk to schools. We're still talking to schools. This is what's desired and what is so important. This is what we work on day to day, moment to moment, and every year. You can change the theme, change the t-shirts, but this doesn't change. This is our base. The big finish. This is where they're going. This is why you're here. This is why I went to work every day. My son called me last night. I don't care if he's 25, 26, he's my baby. And everything I do, and not just work and finances, everything I act and say, I know I'm modeling for him for life. Look, I just talked to him. It's that important. We don't care the name of the school they get into. We care that they have the opportunity to get into, right? We want them to have the opportunity to truly go and be what they're supposed to be. And we all get, because most of us are parents here, that you get up every morning because everything you do is laying a brick down towards that path. That's why our heart and soul's in this. Are we perfect? Absolutely not. But will we always do what we say we're doing? Absolutely. Call me on it. Because I am you. I get it. And then here's the sucker part. I fall in love with them too. And then I want it as much, if not more. So, end result, their choices go beyond. And I just had dinner with him at Christmas. And Dorian can go anywhere. And so can most of our alumni. So when you go in the classrooms, take a look. What you're looking for is engagement. You're looking for all these things. But you're looking to think, will my child thrive here? Will this truly be a second home again? It's your responsibility, and it is truly the reason you're here. It's the reason I think you found Ideal and Dream.